Right, so now we're going to do back stitch. I have the knot in the end of my thread. I have my needle threaded and we're ready to stitch. I have my design line. I've added some curves in because I want to show you what you need to do. So we're doing back stitch. This one you need to come up in from the end of your design line, easily finding the line. Pick a side that you want your thread to fall each time so that it's out of your line of vision. So we need to come up to the front of our work and then we actually go back to the beginning. Stick it in on the line and feed it forward another stitch length in front of where you've come up. You can only do one stitch at a time with this. Pull your thread through and make sure your threads are sitting nice and flat. Go back down into that hole that you just came out of when you first started. Go and pass it underneath and then you've got, I've moved my thread to the top this time, come up another stitch length ahead and pull your thread through. The key with back stitch is to make your stitches as even as possible, but you may find that if you want a really smooth design line, design finish, that you may need to shorten your stitches slightly when you come to a curve, especially if it's a bit tighter than this particular curve, but you may find that it looks a bit more like our children's dot to dot, where it's a little bit less smooth. So if you would like a nice smooth curve, I'm just going to straighten all my threads so that we don't get that extra loop. So we come up, come back to the end of the previous stitch and go down in the same hole. Now I'm feeling underneath and I can push the needle up through the fabric. I'm not poking my finger, I'm just feeling and helping it to come up through. So I've shortened these stitches very slightly just to help the final stitch be smooth, this final design line be smooth. It's not overly noticeable in the end result, but it just means that my design is finishing neatly. So if you come up in the wrong spot, just pull the needle back again so that you can see that it's coming up on your design line, especially if you trace your designs with a Pigma pen so that they're always there. You don't necessarily want that to show, you want your stitches to sit directly on top of it. Oh, so I was actually a little bit short on that one, but for this purpose I'm not going to pull it back out. Be a good example of a stitch that doesn't look even, doesn't always look the best. So when you want to finish, I'm not going to stitch the rest of this line, but if you wanted to finish off your work, go back down through the hole, and I'm just going to flip this work over so that you can see, oh, sorry, I have to go the other way somehow. No, it's not going to work. Alright, go that way. Alright, so my assistant is going to move so that you'll be a little bit further above. So I want to do an ending stitch. I'm going to pull my needle through. I'll undo that so you can see what I'm doing. I'm creating a loop, and I'm bringing my needle through that loop. I actually want to hold it nice and firmly on, if I can move my hand so you can see. So I'm going to use my fingernail to hold that firmly on the back of my work and pull that knot through. So what I've ended up with is a very small knot, same as when we started, and then I would actually thread the remaining thread just through a couple of stitches to help secure it. and that's it, and you can then cut it off close to your work and you're done. So here we have back stitch. This is the original running stitch, and this one here is the spaced back stitch.